Right. I thought I had seen somebody that looked just like you get out of Uber across the street, but they had that same shirt, but they had on like some colorful shorts. I'm like, I didn't see her leaving them shorts. And then I go to sit down, turn around, the person fucking disappears. They not walking this way, they not walking that way. They was sitting in their phone for a minute, like doing something.
He was waiting on your ass to turn
I
around.
was waiting on you to look up so I could say something to you, thinking it was you. Sit down and they ain't not nowhere.
Disappeared. Nah, it wasn't me. I caught the bus back.
I'm like, what the fuck? I know when you now because I just seen them short. That's what made me just think of it. Like,
Yeah, I had these all black on. It was nice. That was the first real nice Oakland Pride.
You been to one before?
Yep. It don't be nothing. It be stragglers.
It was a whole thing?
It was a whole thing.
Where was the parade?
It was a whole thing.
Where was the parade?
Right by the Frank H. Ogawa Plaza, down Broadway.
That's where it is at?
That's where it started at and ended. It wasn't the parade was like an hour.
Oh, well, like long.
No, but that was big for Oakland for the first time.
They had stages?
Yeah, 3 stages. Kamaya was on one stage.
What?
Yeah, and then they had some other couple of people, the queer ladies. And then they had a Latin stage, and then they had a dance stage. Yeah, they did it big. They did it this. Yeah, they did it this year. I ain't gonna lie, that was better. Theirs is actually probably better than San Francisco's. It was like San Francisco before it got too big. Yeah, yeah. But at the end of the night though, hella straight people start coming. Yeah. Yeah, Oakland, they think anything that's a party is for everybody. And you come up in this party, boy, we gonna be looking at your ass sideways when you leave. Yeah, it was cool. That was nice. It turned out really nice for the first time. It's the same vendors that be at the lake, though.
Yeah, because them motherfuckers the ones that just don't pull up.
Yeah, exactly, because they probably got a little crew. Yeah, they for sure gonna pull up. But yeah, they could at least brought some better vendors. But it was nice. I mean, they had some other vendors too though, like some big sponsors and shit. They had some big sponsors. But that's what made me realize like the people that's gonna save this country is the rainbow community. Yeah, because they not giving up that freedom. Because the first of this year started with them attacking the rainbow community. And them saying that they was getting rid of it and everything, getting rid of it from the jobs and the stores couldn't sell our stuff no more. But the parades, each parade I saw and been to this year has been the biggest I've ever seen. So it's like they saying, who you getting rid of? We sticks together. We got money. We got influence. And we have power. Don't ever think. For them to be able to, yes. So if anybody's going to get up. Yeah, even they want to, yes. And then you think it crosses all color lines, all genders. It's the one rainbow community is everybody going to end up being rainbow, I think. Because it's the only unifying movement out here that's really unified. I don't think nobody's more unified than them. Yeah, ain't nobody fucking with the clique. So they got some shit on their hands. They start trying to take shit away from them people. They look ready. I'm always good. Thanks for asking, though. How you feeling? Oh, that's what's up. You more blessed than a lot of people. All is well. That's amazing. That's amazing. One day I might be able to say that. Thanks for the phones and shit. drink my sodas?
Man, I thought you left them out for me.
Bitch, why would I leave my sodas out for you?
You had a whole case.
Where's the whole case, Samantha? Why would I go to my car and put my sodas in the refrigerator and get them frozen for you? You gonna go to the car and get me some more and you gonna put them in there and I don't got nothing to drink. Like, why would you drink both of them?
Open the door.
Y'all inconsiderate, bruh. No, I don't got nothing to drink.
Where the key at?
I opened it, I guess, here. Here, nigga. Who is it? What? Come on, bro. You playing games. Bro, you just making me go downstairs still. Nigga, I told you to come get it. Nigga, I said, here go the key. I don't know what the fuck you bring the doorbell for. Bitch, you act like you mad at me because you gotta replace my shit that you took and dropped. Bitch gonna say you thought I left my shit here for you. Like, bro, this shit getting out of hand. And then you got the nerve to have an attitude because you gotta go to the car and get me some more shit. Already my shit ain't cold or nothing. I'm the one inconvenienced. Sit in this house all day. You need to clean up this kitchen too. Sit in this motherfucking house all day and don't do shit. What's up? And I always find, yeah, always find something wrong. Bitch. Pop, pop, pop. Right here, bitch. A whole new world. Ballin'. Dirty bitch. What's up, Tay? So, what you got going on? Okay. Which one is it? Is it nothing or chilling? You done gave me two different answers. What the baby doing? You lying? What you lying for? Because you don't want to tell everybody you ain't doing shit? You want to act like you doing something? So you ain't doing nothing. I guess we all going outside tonight. Don't do that. Be honest, and then I won't have to do that. I'm gonna leave this conversation alone, okay? Because I see that your level of comprehension is very low right now for some reason. So you are lying. You are lying because those are two things that are juxtaposed to each other. First off, second off, you told me that you're chilling and doing nothing at the same time. Doing nothing is doing nothing. Chilling is chilling. Then when I told you that, you told me you can't be being honest because you can't be chilling and doing nothing at the same time because those are opposites. Then you went on to pick the one that you thought was more acceptable, and you try to say you was chilling. It's obviously that was a lie. Nothing was your first answer because you were doing nothing. You said chilling just to make yourself feel better or to make it look like you're doing something when you're not doing nothing, because you feel like the thought of doing nothing exposes the fact that you ain't doing shit. It's a whole lot of shit that you just making me have to unpack, but I shouldn't have to even unpack it. And the fact that you try to make it seem like I'm on some calling you, like I'm not, like I'm out of, like I'm off. You are a gaslighter and a narcissist. I don't like people like you. This is why I don't have no friends or nobody around me right now. People cannot keep it real. People cannot be honest. I am a human lie detector. Why would I want to be around somebody that intentionally lies to me, intentionally is deceptive to me, intentionally is dishonest to me? I'm getting away from you. This is why I have nobody around me. No lie. most of the people that I meet are not good people. And I do not trust liars. Because they used to tell me when I was a kid, if you lie, you will cheat. If you cheat, you will steal. And if you steal, you will ill. So, I still live by those types of principles and shit. You feel me? I'm not finna build a rapport or a relationship with a liar. With somebody that feels the need to be dishonest to me for whatever reason. So, yeah. And then when you call them out on shit, when it's obvious that it is what it is, then they disappear. Or they try to make it seem like you're the bad guy for bringing awareness to the fact that they're bullshitting. People like to bullshit a lot because most people are not conscious. So y'all are not used to a conscious person. So you can lie and bullshit somebody who's not conscious. But somebody who's conscious is going to call that shit out and question it. So a lot of y'all unconscious people don't do well around conscious people. Y'all won't do well around conscious people. Because I might as well play some music on this live. Let me see. I don't even like playing music on my lives. Fuck it, let's do this let's do this live. Let's play this Nicki Minaj. I should have played the version with the words.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having to go to court or pay expensive upfront legal fees. Listen, if you've been in a car accident in the past year, even as a passenger, you could be owed a significant cash payout. While most victims are struggling with insurance companies and lawyers, others are receiving 6- and 7-figure payouts without ever stepping foot in a courtroom. Here's how to never have to worry about money after a car accident. It's called the 2025 Compensation Program, and we recently launched it across a couple more states to help victims get the maximum amount they're owed without the usual hassles of dealing with insurance directly, going to court, or paying expensive upfront legal fees. And right now, we're looking for 10 more car accident victims who want to try this program for free and get paid.
You let me ride, you let me rock, you let me slide. And when they looking, you let me hide. Defend my honor, protect my pride. The good advice, I always hated, but looking back, it made me greater. You always told me, forget the haters. Just get my money, just get my weight up. Know when I'm lying, know when I'm crying. It's like you got it, down to a science. Why am I trying? No, you ain't buying. I try to fight it, back with defiance. You make me laugh, you make me hoarse. From yelling at you and getting at you, picking up dishes, throwing them at you. Why are you speaking when no one asks you? You see right through it. How do you do that shit? How do you do that shit? How do you do that shit? How do you see right through it? How do you do that shit? How do you do that shit? How do you do that shit? How do you? What are we doing? Could you see through me? Cause you say Nikki and I say who me? And you say no you and I say screw you. Then you start dressing and you start leaving and I start crying and I start screaming. The heavy breathing. And what's the reason? Always get the reaction you wanted. I'm actually fronting. I'm asking you something, yo. Answer this question. Classes in session. Tired of letting passive aggression control my mind, capture my soul. Okay, you're right, just let it go. Okay, you got it, it's in the can. Before I played it, you knew my hand. You could turn a free throw to a goal. Make
You got the cheat code to my soul.
You see right through me.
How do you do that shit? How do you do that shit? How do you that shit? How do you? 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 How do you do that shit? How do you do that shit? How do you do that shit? How do you? How do you? How do you? How do you? How do you?
Won't you just stop looking through me? 'Cause I can't take it. No, I can't take it. You see
How do you do that shit? How do you do that shit? How do you do that shit? How do you? 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 Right through me, baby. You see right through me. You see right through me.
Wait, if you were detained at any Alameda County Juvenile Detention Facility, this is the money glitch that's getting...
like the Curry, Steph and Aisha shit, but we more like Belly, Tommy and Keisha shit. Gave you TLC, you wanna creep and shit. Poured out my whole heart to a piece of shit. Man, I thought you would've learned a lesson about liking pictures, not returning texts. I guess it's fine, man, I get the message. You still stutter after certain questions. You keep in contact with certain exes. Do you though? Trust me, nigga, it's cool though. Said that you was working, but you out here chasing culo and putas, chilling poolside, living cool lives. I could've did what you did to me to you
a few times.
But if I did decide to slide, find a nigga, fuck him, suck his dick. You would've been pissed, but that's not my MO. I'm not that type of bitch. And karma for you is gonna be who you end up with. Don't make me sick, nigga. I adore. I gave you everything, what's mine is yours. I want you to live your life, of course, but I hope you get what you're dying for. Be careful with me. Do you know what you're doing? Whose feelings that you hurting and bruising? You gon' get the whole world, but it's me. But the girl that you losing, be careful with me. Yeah, it's not a threat, it's a warning. Be careful with me. Yeah, my heart is like a package with a fragile label on it. Be careful with me. Care for me. Always say that you be there for me, there for me. Oh, you better treat me carefully, carefully. Look, I was here before all of this. Guess you acting now, you got an audience. Tell me where your mind is, drop a pin, what's the coordinates? You might have a fortune, but you lose me, you still gonna be misfortunate, nigga. Tell me, this lust got you this fucked up in the head? You want some random bitch up in your bed? She don't even know your middle name. Watch her, cause she might steal your chain. You don't want someone who love you instead? I guess not though, it's blame, disrespect. You nothing like crazy and you quick to forget. You even got me tripping. You got me looking in the mirror different. Thinking I'm flawed because you inconsistent. Between a rock and a hard place, the mud and the dirt. It's gonna hurt me to hate you, but loving you's worse. It all stopped so abrupt, you started switching it up. Teach me to be like you so I can not give a fuck. Free to mess with someone else, I wish these feelings come out. Cause you don't care about a thing except your motherfucking self. You ain't man that I adore. I gave you everything, was mine is yours. I want you to live your life, of course, but I hope you get what you dying for. Be careful with me. Do you know what you're doing? Whose feelings that you hurting and bruising? You gon' get the whole world, but is it worth the girl that you're losing? Be careful with me. Yeah, it's not a threat, it's a warning. Be careful with me. Yeah, my heart is like a package with a fragile label on it. Be careful with me.
Real hot girl shit. It's a beat live, you know, Lil Juke. Hey, bitch, I'm a problem, nobody solving. You can keep hating, I'm popping regardless. He wanna feel it like Megan Thee Stallion. Don't want your nigga cause I want his daddy. I like to switch up my style every week. I gotta switch up my hair every day. I ain't no hoe, but I do be on going. I promise my niggas gon' love me the same. I'm a hot girl, don't try it at home. I wear the shit that be showing my thong. I like to drink and I like to have sex. I fuck the niggas that's cutting the checks. Dance on a dick now you been served. I like a dick with a little bit of curve. Hit this pussy with an uppercut. Call that nigga Captain Hook. Ayy, I go shopping, want it then I cop it. Ayy, yeah, bitches popping, I do what they copy. Ayy, look, he's a sweetie, kiss it when he eat it. Ayy, yeah, know it's good. Ayy, chewing, ayy, singing. I love niggas with conversation and find a clip with no navigation. Mandatory that I get the head, but no guarantees on a penetration. I be texting with a fly chick, we both freaky, just trying shit. Main nigga getting super jealous, he don't even know about the other fellas. I need a Mr. Clean, make that pussy beam. Okay, I just might need a baker, make that pussy cream. Okay, you woke up mad at me, boy, you ain't brush your teeth. That shit super sad, fucking carpe diem. I'm so indecisive, you can't cuff me, but I'm wifey. I just want a nigga who gon' slurp me like a icy. Bitches bite me so I had to put them on a diet. Bitches ain't no tryouts, all a hoe, you better try me. I got a man, I got a bitch, I'm a banana, they got a flip. One on your top, one on your tip, one for the club, one for the crib. My nigga fine, I wanna fuck, ice in his mouth, eat me up, rockin' his chain, wearing his ring, give him some brain. I go shopping, want it then I cop it. Ayy, yeah, bitches popping, I do what they copy. Ayy, look, he's a sweetie, kiss it when he eat it. Ayy, yeah, know it's good when you chewing, ain't you singing. I go summer, I ain't fucking with no drama. He was tripping, so I hung out with his partner. Fucking good, introduced me to his mama. Thought he had me till I came out with the condom. Drinking Douce out the motherfucking bottle. Hey, I'm a rapper, not no motherfucking model. Got a nigga, but I think I'll have another. I'm too sexy to be fucking undercover. I know you know me, I ain't gotta introduce it. Same crew, I ain't hanging with no new bitch. I'ma buy it when I land, I rock this shit. I ain't fucking with that nigga, I got new dick. Please don't try me, little bitch, you know I'm with that. How I break a hoe in half like a Kit Kat. Please don't ask me about it if you know I did that. Not a stylist, but I'll push your fucking whip back. Real hot girl shit.
Today, we're diving into some huge updates about XRP, what's been happening recently, and where it's headed next.
On me. My affirmations of a real bitch. You on your shit, you on your shit. You the one, ain't nobody fucking we the fuck. Hype me up, hype me up, hype me up. I hype me up. I got 99 problems, but I got 100 reasons. If it rains, sleet, or snow, I'ma ball air seas. Cause I got a hype. hype me up. I hype me up. Say I'm enough. Even when it's tough, I can fall 1,000,000 times and I'm still getting up. Bullshit is
For the birds,
broke shit is
for the ducks.
early bird
For the
worm first class, bitch, I'm up.
I know I can
I know I can
do what I wanna do.
do what I wanna do.
If you don't believe in me, if you don't believe in me, I don't give a fuck about you.
Get your ass to the back. I know
I can.
I know I am. No motherfucking pressure. Bitch, I'm motherfucking pressure. It just take a little time. Had to come and shut it down. Nothing more, nothing less. Teaching game like a professor. I am healthy, I am wealthy. I'm a motherfucking dime. If it's for me, then it's for me. What I tell them all the time. If you walk up by my life, I just take it as a sign. 3 fingers to the sky. Told them read between the lines. Fuck you. Ass getting fatter. Yeah. Stomach getting flatter. Yeah. Don't give a fuck if you can't see it. It don't need me. I don't chase sidetrack. I'm the one to be exact. Face card don't decline. And my body still snack. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. I'm the one, not the two. You can't shit on me. So many sacrifices, I can never quit on me. On me. Need my daily affirmations. Put that shit on me. On who? On me. Need my daily affirmations. I wake up in the morning, say this shit to myself.
Katie, as women, there's rules we need to stand by. Stand for something, to fall for anything.
Love. Never let a nigga fuck you over more than once.
2.
Anybody owe you bread, do not accept the crumbs.
3.
Remember, you can never tell these bitches everything.
4.
Today she call you sis, tomorrow she your enemy.
5.
Money to the side, don't let no nigga leave you dry.
6.
Stand no business, if they say it's up, you better ride. Keep the family first, put that in front of everything. Bet that on yourself if you gon' roll the dice on anything.
9.
Any points to be made, don't be scared to prove it. And you better look fucking good when you do it. How to move out here, you know this shit get ugly. I had a bitch do me the dirtiest, proclaim to love me. I went through hella shit and back to be kicked up with comfy. You see how hard I grind, little bitch, don't never call me lover. You fuck a nigga good enough and he gon' think he own you. The broke ones usually insecure, the rich ones try to control you. That's why it's always best to choose the one that's real and loyal. Cause money come and go, but it's some shit you can't teach. I'm gon' always separate the hustlers from the leeches. The loudest is the weakest, give a fuck by what they screaming. And don't be matching fucked up energy with hoes in no way. Be realer than that lame shit, cause that right there got no place.
Fuck on.
Love.
1.
Never let a nigga fuck you over more than once.
2.
Anybody owe you bread, do not accept the crumbs.
3.
Remember, you can never tell these bitches everything.
4.
Today she call you sis, tomorrow she your enemy.
5.
Money to the side, don't let no nigga leave you dry.
6.
Stand no business, if they say it's up, you better ride.
7.
Keep the family first, put that in front of everything. Bet that on yourself if you gon' roll the dice on anything.
9.
Any points to be made, don't be scared to prove it. And you better look fucking good when you. And don't be laid up face down with your ass out. With some nigga you can't call for nothing if you ass out. I ain't saying that me walk around here with your hand out, but just in case some shit don't really go the way you planned out. Don't go blowing bags on the bag if you can't put a bag in it. And never fuck with niggas you never see with their children. Don't never handle business decisions while in your feelings. Keep your hair and nails done and don't play around about that fitness. Keep everyone at your game room and bitches out of their room. Now see the way that he treat you and try to fuck him in the same room. A few D's and some LLC's so you ain't cooked if a nigga leaves. Sweet life ain't always sweet, bitch. Gotta stay on her Q's and P's. 1. Never let a nigga fuck you over more than once.
2.
Anybody owe you bread, do not accept the crumbs.
3.
Remember, you can never tell these bitches everything.
4.
Today she call you sis, tomorrow she your enemy.
5.
Money to the side, don't let no nigga leave you dry.
6.
Stand no business, if they say it's up, you better ride.
7.
Keep the family first, put that in front of everything. Bet that on yourself if you gon' roll the dice on anything.
9.
Any points to be made, don't be scared to prove it.
10.
And you better look fucking good when you do it.
Better look good when you doing it, bitch.
This check is for $102,000, and it's all from a car accident I had last year without going to.
Bow, 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 bow.
Slim, thick, crumble skin, 5'5", this bitch a 10. Her done, bills paid, catch me sliding in the Benz. I ain't looking for no man, I ain't recruiting no new friends. Louis bag filled with bands, gone sexy, do your dance. Get it sexy, get it sexy, get it sexy, get it sexy. Boy, you know this ass super fat. Fuck me good, I'm throwing that shit back. He wanna kiss me all over my tag. I'm so fucking sexy, they attack. Feel myself cause I know that I'm next. Run through St. Louis and the scat. West down middle point, I got it black. Walking through the club looking like a snack. Get it sexy, get it sexy, get it sexy, get it sexy. Big sexy blood, love the hoes, bounce that ass, touch some toes. Booty shorts, coochie swole, thong all up my booty hole. Niggas cheaters, they don't go, trust a nigga, that's a no. He can eat my coochie though, awesome Johnson got me though. Little man sexy, walking down the street. I don't know what to do cause the niggas after me. I'm so fucking sexy, yeah, my skin is glistening. Diamonds hitting hard, niggas wanna drive my team. Get it sexy. Get it sexy, get it sexy, get it sexy. Slim, thick, crumble skin, 5'5", this bitch a 10. Her done, bills paid, catch me sliding in a Benz. I ain't looking for no man, I ain't recruiting no new friends. Louis bag.
Mm-hmm.
Confused. And so the enemy led these individuals to believe that that power was theirs. And so when that power gets returned to its source of origin, which it always does, which is you, see, you were the source of positivity for these people, right? And so they stole that energy, it gets returned to you, you redirect it into constructive things for you. You begin to flourish and develop, and these individuals will, right, karma, back to how they were before you met them, dancing and existing with the enemy. It's just divine law. There's nothing that anyone can do about it. It's just how it goes. And it's always gonna go how it's always been. It's just divine law, man. Walking in power, walking in light. And now this is the part where
now this is where it gets fun. This is the Rare Beauty Blush. It's by our dear friend Selena.
Mine would take Pope. Baby, we have
TikTok. The motherland is waking up, baby. So look, do y'all know that 1.4 billion people had disconnected from Google, and they was all black people, African people? Come on. Basically, it's like they got their own internet. Like Africa got their own internet. Like, come on, like stop playing. Like, I like that. Like, that is exciting. What?
Did you know there's a massive $16 billion settlement?
She gonna pump that fur into your body.
Yeah.
You may think she like the first thing she gonna think is fur. That fur go in, and she never wiped that fur, or she was scared before she went to sleep, or she was stressed before she went to sleep. Right? Mm-hmm. So whatever is that why people had them dreams? Whatever they feeling, they had them dreams. So you actually are the reality, and people don't understand this. You live in your reality. You think it is somebody else's.
And the craziest thing is when you manifest an infection or a disease, that's the ultimate sign that you have some negative spiritual, some demonic spirits on you, attached to you.
Right. And that what happened over there at Wise Tale. They had a lot of demonic spirits attached to them. They had so many, did that. I guarantee you that, game, because like they're around each other and they're all.
Shout out to the Midas Touch for uncovering another layer in the Trump-Epstein cover-up. I think it's become crystal clear that Donald Trump has ties to Russia that he doesn't want us to know about, and that he, quote, snitched on Epstein to protect himself. Now, yesterday, we all heard it and saw it. Speaker Mike Johnson said this.
It's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who suffer these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago.
And that's right on par with what Nancy May said.
Nancy May says, quote, she's not worried about crossing Donald Trump on Epstein because Donald Trump is the one who banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant, and he talked to the feds to get this guy turned over. So Donald Trump is a hero in this.
Now, this is where things get interesting. Let's get into the beef between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. And let's see what we find.
Now let's bring in the $95 million mansion sale that took place in West Palm Beach. You see that mansion right there? A guy by the name of Dmitry Rybolev, a Russian oligarch who made his billions in the fertilizer industry, purchased this home right here from Donald Trump for about Donald Trump purchased that house in 2004 for about $41 million from another buyer. Dmitry Rybolev, 4 years later, purchased that home for Donald Trump for $95 million.
So now that it's clear you got two criminals feuding, let's go inside of the mind of Jeffrey Epstein via Michael Wolff, all right? Because Epstein was paranoid that Donald Trump was ratting on him to the feds. And I think it all is starting to make sense on why he was.
Now, Epstein's explanation for why this friendship ended is as follows. In 2004, Epstein believed himself to be the high bidder on a piece of real estate in Palm Beach, a house. $36 million was his bid. He took his friend Trump around to see the house to advise him on how to move the swimming pool. Trump thereupon went around Epstein's back and bid $40 million for the house and got the property. Epstein, who was well acquainted, in fact, deeply involved with Trump's scattered finances, understood that he didn't have $40 million to pay for this house. Now, if that was the case, it was someone else's $40 million. At the time, Epstein believed this to be the $40 million of a Russian oligarch by the name of Rybolev. Less than 2 years later, this same house that Trump had bought for $40 million was sold for $95 million. And it was, in fact, sold to Mr. Rybolev. This is all a red flag of money laundering. And what Epstein did, and he was furious about losing this house. I mean, there's something about these guys that nothing rouses them so much as a real estate betrayal. Epstein, after the sale of this house, after Trump went around his back, got this house, Epstein began to threaten him. He began to threaten him with lawsuits. He began to threaten him with going to the press and saying that Trump was a front man for a money laundering deal. Trump panics at this point, and Epstein believed, and he believed to his dying day, that it was Trump who went to the police, Trump who was fully acquainted with what was going on at Epstein's house, fully acquainted for many years. Trump went to the police and, as Epstein said, dropped the dime on him. That is to say, informed the police of what was going on, and an investigation began, and all of Epstein's legal problems for the next 15 years began to unfold. This story about this piece of real estate and their falling out was first published in June 2019. It's published actually in my book, Siege, the second book I had written about the Trump White House. Epstein had recounted this story to me. I put it in this book. Epstein at that moment was in Paris. He read the book. He called me with some alarm, and he said he was afraid that he might have said too much. 3 weeks later, he returned to the United States from Paris and was promptly arrested on the tarmac of Teterboro Airport in New Jersey when his plane landed.
Now that makes sense, right? But I know there's some of you out there. A little break and kind of. I used to think daily fantasy was so complicated before.
You're gonna love this. Someone has very, very deep-rooted feelings for you. They can't talk. I can barely talk. And they haven't been able to open up to you. And the divine is coming in and opening a can. I'm using code words because I have to. I've had videos taken down before. I'm going to be talking about Peter Tea Leaves, the founder of Planeteer, code words, the one who gave us J.D. Vance. He's putting on a 4-part seminar at the end of September, early October, at the Commonwealth Club in San Francisco. And he's going to tell everybody who the Antichrist really is. And it's sold out. And you want to know who the Antichrist is? He says it's not one person. It's basically you and me. Yeah. The Antichrist will claim to bring peace and safety while actually creating a stagnant global state. Meaning, read between the lines, there will be governments that try to stop people like him from taking it all. And he calls that stagnant. The only promising technology for avoiding stagnation is AI. And if you remember in his interview with the New York Times, he doesn't even feel it's necessary for humans to exist because of the technology that's coming out. So the Antichrist will try to slow down and regulate AI in the name of peace and safety.
How can they say there's no reason for humans to exist if we don't work for them? Do they think they own the planet? Do the oligarchs think like they own a planet or something? Because how do Mr. P. Tilly say that there's no need for humans to exist with the technology that they're coming out with? So basically, they're saying there's no need for us if we don't do no work for them. Like, what is the need for you guys if there's no need for us guys? Like, we're all here. And what is this planet going to be if it's just a bunch of oligarchs here? Like, no culture, no community. Just dry melancholy. Yeah, I don't get it. Y'all obviously don't get it. Y'all need us. We're not just here for workers. We're here because we bring the vibes to life. There's no point of being rich without vibes, bitch. Do the oligarchs think like they own a planet or something? Because how do Mr. P. Tilly say that there's no need for humans to exist with the technology that they're coming out with? So basically, they're saying there's no need for us if we don't do no work for them. Like, what is the need for you guys if there's no need for us guys? Like, we're all here. And what is this planet going to be if it's just a bunch of oligarchs here? Like, no culture, no community, just dry melancholy. Yeah, I don't get it. Y'all obviously don't get it. Y'all need us. We're not just here for workers. We're here because we bring the vibes to life. There's no point of being rich without vibes, bitch. Do the oligarchs think like they own a planet or something? Because how do Mr. P. Tilly say that there's no need for humans to exist with the technology that they're coming out with? So basically, they're saying there's no need for us if we don't do no work for them. Like, what is the need for you guys if there's no need for us guys? Like, we're all here. And what is this planet going to be if it's just a bunch of oligarchs here? Like, no culture,
no community, just dry melancholy. Yeah, I don't get it. Y'all obviously don't get it.
And then yes, woo, prize big. Altruistic people are the Antichrist. He says that people like you and me who are altruistic will usher in totalitarian governments by claiming we need authority to protect society from things like, going bankrupt, losing everything we have, getting sick and not having health care coverage, livable wages, affordable college, all those things. Those are real threats. Those aren't making up threats. Those are real threats. A way to identify these pro-totalitarian governments is to look for instances where people are claiming that there is a great threat and therefore humanity needs to take some costly action despite the threat not actually being that big. Think climate change. Think starvation around the world. Think dictatorship and taking down our democracy. He considers himself a Girardian mimetic. This is a belief, Girardian mimetic desires. So you know that story, that study where you have a whole bunch of kids in a room full of toys, but when one kid picks up this one toy, all the kids drop what they have and they're going after that one kid and his toy because they want what he has. They don't want to enjoy everything they have. And according to this desire, it leads humans to actually unalive other humans. And the way he's describing this is the billionaires are this one boy holding the toy. And we all, as little Antichrist people, don't want to enjoy what we have. We're going after Peter Tea Leaves because we want what he has. See how he's painting all of us? He is completely redefining today's Christianity.
No, that ain't a fucking narcissist.
Collective. This is a big Christian movement that ties in technology and billionaires into Christianity, being a pivotal part of taking Christianity to the next level. I'm not kidding you guys. The fact that you have an entire Christian nationalist society that is condemning the LGBTQ, and he is a married gay man, and these Christians are following him all of a sudden being gay is good. I don't know. What is this all about? Anyway, seems to me like it might be good to be protesting outside of this event and holding up signs. But anyway, from one Antichrist to another, may you have a great rest of your day fighting for health care for everyone. I'm using code words because I have.
This is a message for the United States government. For too long have you had your boot on the throat of the American people. You seem to forget that you work for us, and a lot of us are finally seeing you for what you really are. A criminal organization that's willing to sacrifice the lives and well-beings of its own people to line the pockets of the ultra-rich. Your billions of dollars in racist propaganda, they're not working anymore. They may have worked on the boomers, but you're not getting us younger generation. And we know that scares you. It's why you're trying to ban this app. We're no longer ignorant to the truth, and there's no going back. I speak on behalf of myself and many other Americans you continuously fuck over every single day. This is no longer about the TikTok ban. This is about the internal war that you have created to keep us sick, overworked, underpaid, and divided, and this will not stand any longer. I will be participating in the National War Tax Resistance. You will no longer get a penny of my money to go ship over.
We're gonna leave it right around there, let it drift on up, moving on up.
Where these 20... So Donald Trump has now alleged that he used the Department of Justice to help Ron DeSantis win the 2018 election for governor in Florida. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So Donald Trump just implicated the Department of Justice in, essentially, election fraud. Trump is now claiming that he used the Department of Justice and the FBI to help Ron DeSantis win the 2018 election for governor in Florida. Here's what Donald Trump just posted on his third-rate social media platform, with apologies to third-rate social media platforms. Referring to the DeSantis election, he said, "I also fixed his..." So Donald Trump has now alleged that he used the Department of Justice to help Ron DeSantis win the 2018 election for governor in Florida. Let's talk about that, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So Donald Trump just implicated the Department of Justice in, essentially, election fraud.
Can we just see the secret? The secret puts one's over key. I think we just need to be very clear about what is going on in Tulsa right now. And it is not about public safety. It is about...
I'm getting that there's something you're not seeing. There's something you're not seeing about the situation at hand.
You darlings know how you're all out of balance when you get back from...
There's some kind of new information that is about to be given to you. New information, new conversation, new insight. Okay, we're starting the reading out with the Ace of Swords. I flipped the deck 3 different times, and every single time it was this card, okay? Let's find out what this actually means. What is this information, angels? What is this person about to find out, and what is it in regards to?
It's because you're trying to kill them through preventable diseases, and you're trying to bring back the way that half of the kids used to die, and you don't care about that. And vaccines actually saved the life of 5 million.
If you are looking to buy a used car, here's some things you need.
Wait till you realize that what they meant by shadow government is that everybody's pretending to play kings and queens and presidents and governors.
Unfortunately, since Assemblywoman Michelle Rodriguez, who refuses to protect her community, which is 66% Latino, where the majority of the raids have been in her district within the IE, continues to not support SB 627, which would unmask ICE agents and Border Patrol officers and make it a misdemeanor.
At this point, there's only 2 things that can stop what's happening. One of them is called civil unrest, and the other one is an act of Congress. We know that the act of Congress is not going to happen. When a government will go into a city and declare war on its citizens with no permission from the city itself or the governors of that state, that is an act of war. Right now, we have a president who is posting things on his page. We have a Secretary of Defense saying that we need to be more lethal. We have a president who has created an army called ICE and has impounded funds from other government and Congress allocated funding to fund his ICE army, which is run by Kristi Noem. And right now, they are posting pictures from the Department of Labor of white guys on the front of these things, obviously AI gentlemen.
Major news alert: if you get your mail from the U.S. Postal Service or care about government power, this update's for you. According to an exclusive from the Washington Post, President Trump is planning to fire the entire governing board of the U.S. Postal Service and bring the USPS directly under the Commerce Department, essentially making it a part of his administration. So let's break this down legally. Right now, the United States Postal Service is an independent agency, meaning it's supposed to operate separately from direct political control. The governing board is appointed by the president, but once confirmed, they make decisions without interference. That independence helps protect mail service from political influence. If Trump issues this executive order, it would completely dissolve the board and place the Postal Service under the executive branch. That's a major shift, and it could raise serious legal and constitutional challenges.
Now you recognize that people don't believe in the Most High. They believe in illusions.
This inspired me to...
Trump, your orange clown, your whole throne's a mirage. You built a kingdom of lies off a bankrupt garage. You ain't no patriot, just a Twitter finger fraud. Ducking drafts, sucking cash, hiding truth like a god. I'm the voice of the people, you just talk for the rich. Built a wall for your ego, now it's starting to glitch. You had kids in cages while you posed for a flick. I put bars and pages that'll break you real quick. Stormy's ghost still haunt you, subpoenas in hand. Even your lawyers fleet faster than fans of your brand. I'm Slim Shady with a purpose, a lyrical hitman. You just a washed up game show with a spray tan. It's the fall of Trump, no redemption, no grace, just the echo of truth in your punchable face. You play God with the law, now it's judgment day. I'm the karma in the verse, better kneel when I spray. It's the fall of Trump, no redemption, no grace, just the echo of truth in your punchable face. You play God with the law, now it's judgment.
And people was like, well, how can that happen? Well, you know, if you know anything about the ground.
Remember how I said earlier in this speech that the farmers need to give up their farms before 2030, specifically that year? Yeah, so that's not a coincidence. That year doesn't come out of nowhere. So that year is basically the deadline that our global elites have given our country and will probably give you to abide by these new regulations. And that agenda is called the 2030 agenda.
So what is the 2030 agenda?
Let's say
They're trying to enslave us.
Operating a high-end human trafficking ring, just for the purposes of conjecture, possibly for the purposes of what I call mutually agreeable.
There is, I'm getting multiple entities who are coming to collect. Okay, and this Eclipse portal.
What do you think of this one? Hate it. What are you even supposed to wear?
Yes, it is time to stop.
These are the fees other brokerages charge to trade options.
Here's the thing. Racism in America was never just about people being hateful. It was designed, structured, protected. And one black man spelled it out so clearly, they
talking to that woman because she was... This is why we created the Midas Touch Network, for videos just like this. Donald Trump has been caught on tape. We have the receipts, we have the photographs, we have the video. I rarely ask for favors on the Midas Touch Network, but I'm going to do so now. Please share this video with as many people as you know. We need to get the word out, especially as Donald Trump's invasion of Chicago by the Department of War, as Donald Trump has unlawfully named the Department of Defense. That invasion is imminent. Donald Trump is making social media posts and memes called Chikopocalypse, like Apocalypse Now, and he's saying that we're going to do to Chicago what we did to Vietnam. So this is urgent. I need to get the word out. I need you to help me get the word out. So here is a video of Almito, Texas. This is where construction workers were building new homes. One of the areas that ICE is frequently attacking is migrant construction workers who are trying to build new homes across the United States. This just happens to be in a red state in Almito, Texas. Watch what happens as ICE raids this neighborhood where migrants were building new homes. Play this clip.
¿Por qué no? Tiene derecho a una llamada. ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Juan qué? ¿De dónde es?
Now, here's the aftermath right here. ICE took everybody, took all of the workers, and then construction just completely shut down. Here, play this clip.
I'm honestly beginning to suspect that despite all the atrocities and shit that Donald Trump is pulling up there right now, he himself is a distraction. And they're just killing two birds with one stone. I don't really think this is primarily about the Project 2025 or Project Esther stuff at the moment. I think that is a convenient sideshow to keep us looking at that. And they are doing everything in their power to make that a believable theory. So it doesn't mean stop fighting against it, because it would be horrible if the nation turned into a Handmaid's Tale situation. That said, I'm more on the Agenda 2030 sort of shit, because I was a big conspiracy theorist back in 2017, and everybody told me I was fucking crazy about this at that time, and now everybody's starting to see the same shit. And I'm not saying that like I'm alone in that sort of scenario. I'm just saying I'm not such a conspiracy theorist anymore. But at that time, that was one of the key things I locked onto that I thought was fucking weird. And it looks like it's going that direction, because hearing Melania Trump get up and give this speech where she said, the robots are here, our future is no longer science fiction, and AI will become the underpinning of the entire business sector of our nation, makes me really, it gives me the heebie-jeebies, sends a chill up my spine. It makes me actually start to buy into this theory that people are presenting, that while he is trying to get rid of immigrants, it's not even about immigrants. It's not even that he's giving false reasoning for why he wants to get rid of the immigrants. It's that really this is just about getting the National Guard all over the country in the hopes that they can quell the chaos ensuing after they announce something fucking crazy. Because I used to listen to like Ray Kurzweil and Peter Diamandis talk shit a whole lot about, you know, the predictions that Ray Kurzweil's had a pretty high success rate of predicting about where AI was going to be headed and the time frame of that. And I mean, he was thinking it was going to pass the Turing test probably in around 2035 or 2040, I think. Might have been 2045 or 2050. Whatever the case is, they don't need it to pass the Turing test to take over all the manufacturing jobs. And it's already taking all the entertainment jobs. And the economy's already in the shitter. So I'm beginning to think they're just going to put the death nail in the coffin of this economy, tank the whole fucking thing, and it's not exclusively going to be so they can buy up all the shit. It's certainly going to be for that. But it's also going to be because they plan on instituting an entirely new system to fuck us over, probably with Palantir helping to head that up, to ensure that we are just absolute cattle. I'm like, that shit is fucking incoming. And it seems to me like it's rapidly accelerating at that pace, quicker than I expected. Because of course it's been going this direction for years, that AI was going to take over everything was their big idea. But I'm beginning to get freaked out that that's going to happen any day now. I'm honestly beginning to suspect that despite all the atrocities and shit that Donald Trump is pulling up there right now, he himself is a distraction. And they're just killing two birds with one stone. I don't really think this is primarily about the Project 2025 or Project Esther stuff at the moment. I think that is a convenient sideshow to keep us looking at that. And they are doing everything in their power to make that a believable theory. So
I'ma buy a new Celine, let her ride in the forest with me. Ooh, shit, I'm her boo, and she down to break the rules like that. I'ma buy a new Celine, let her ride in the forest with me. Ooh, shit, I'm her boo, and she down to break the rules like that. I'ma buy now, can you show me?
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of four. Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200.
She hung the cotton master by his testicles. This happened in Virginia in 1748. This is the story of Miriam, the albino black slave who had the bravery and the courage of her ancestors to hang the cotton master by his own testicles. This is the book Black AF History, the Unwhitewashed Story of America by Michael Harriot. This is the information they don't want.
So tonight, September 7th, we have a powerful, powerful lunar eclipse in Pisces. This is a blood moon. So what eclipses do is they expose the truth. And Pisces energy is forcing us to face illusions that we've been avoiding. And this one is about dreams, it's about purpose, and it's about survival. And just look at the timing. The news just dropped that unemployment is climbing and that there are fewer jobs available than there are people who need them. coincidence. The eclipse is showing us the cracks in the system. Virgo season wants order. Pisces wants surrender. And together they're saying the old way of depending on China's forces and a fragile economy, that's all collapsing. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusion, and spiritual vision. In ancient Kemet, it was linked to Jupiter, the planet of expansion. That's why Pisces holds both mystery and abundance both at once. Its symbol, the two fish swimming in opposite directions, represents our eternal struggle between spirit and matter, higher vision and earthly survival. And under this eclipse, those fish are pushing us and pulling us to choose. Do we drown in the old systems? Do we stay stuck in our past? Or do we swim free into new waters and new realities? In African and Kemetic wisdom, these signs have their correspondences too. Pisces is the realm of water and dreams, which aligns with Oshun and Yamaya, the orishas of rivers and oceans. Virgo is rooted in earth and order, which represents and resonates with Orset or Isis, the divine mother and healer. Together, they remind us, spirit must flow like water.
I don't know who I'm speaking to right now, but your side profile is T.
Yo, Donnie, you ain't a dog. More like a fraud in a suit, yelling fake news every time the truth's at your roots. You bankrupt morals 6 times, that's a pattern. But I spit like subpoenas, got your ego shattered. Built a cult off hate, now the fire spreads fast. But your lies age worse than your orange tone mask. Throw me nightshade deals, hush money's your method. I drop bars so sharp, they cut through your ethics. Coughing through places while people lost breath. You dance with dictators, flirting with death. You ain't great, just a coward in a Twitter thread. While I bury your fascists with every line I said. You took the oath and spit on the page. Now I'm the backlash raw, unfiltered rage.
Listen, man, I've been getting downloads after downloads from the heavens that these motherfuckers, their time is up. So I'm gonna just be straight up. The white TBOY, they got what's coming to them. So if I was y'all, get the fuck away from them people. It's as simple as that. Our women who want to beat in them, get the fuck away from. This is a warning. This is a warning. This is a promise. Get the fuck away from them people. I'm telling you, get the fuck away from them. Get the fuck away from them. It's as simple as that. You can't do what they do. Do and did and do, right? And think you just gonna escape the Most High, the God of Israel, the God of it all.
We have some news right now, and surprisingly, Donald Trump is taking credit for President Biden's infrastructure bill that was passed in 2021, despite trying to kill the bill, saying that it would be harmful to the United States of America. Signs like these are now popping up across the country, according to the New York Times. This one is at the Seattle Rail Yard Modernization Project. And as you can see, it says President Donald Trump rebuilding America's infrastructure. But if you look right below it, it says funded by the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. That's the infrastructure bill that was passed by President Biden and Democrats several years ago, providing one of the largest infrastructure investments in America's history.
We've all been in this situation before where there's a Thursday night game.
Well, what can I do? That's up to the government. No, it's not. We can't even get a woman in office. Ignore them. What do we do? What do you see me doing? Am I holding the 6 mass extinction up to your head when you get on this app? Are you holding this up to other people's head? What are your posts like? This is a very powerful device you hold in your hands. This device is so powerful that people are willing to work 8 hours a day, which is unheard of for our species. 8 hours a day just to own one. We all put in the hours at our shift so we could spend $1,200 on one of these. We all did it. So what else are we capable of? What can we use this for? Is there another way that we can live? Someone left a comment. So what are you trying to do? Revolution or music? Do you guys think that one day we're going to live this way and then one day some magical policy is going to happen and then we won't suffer? You can work on music if that's going to contribute to the vision for the future that you want. I really despise certain artists because they have so much power over people's minds. So I'm saying, I'm going to get in there too. I'm going to infiltrate your mind. We all have a unique role to play for the future. I don't know what it looks like for you. You're different from me. You walk around and you see people who have now started to question, really, do I want to pay a mortgage for the rest of my life? Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. But you're talking to them, and what now? What now? Why aren't you having the next conversation? Guys, hello? What do we want? It's like we're all locked in this stupor. We can't scheme for the new world. Why? Well, what can I do? That's up to the government. No, it's not. We can't even get a woman in office. Ignore them. So I had to jump on here, right? We're not going to pretend like we're not in some spiritual warfare when it comes to the new timeline. Talk the tree. Capacity to make up fake shit. Dude, make up shit that you can't quite understand, but your mind does not really have the capacity to make up fake shit. It can only imagine shit that you've experienced in your past lives, in your past you can't quite understand, but your mind does not really have the capacity to make up fake shit. It can only imagine shit that you've experienced in your past lives, in your past essence, in your past existence, whatever you want to call that shit. So sometimes you don't understand the shit that you are experiencing. That's why I say we're not really ready for war like we think we is yet. Because first we gotta wake up and realize who we are, realize who what our power is, and then get over the fear of dying. Existence, whatever you want to call that shit. So sometimes you don't understand shit. It can only imagine shit that you've experienced in your past lives, in your past essence, in your past existence, whatever you want to call that shit. So sometimes you don't understand the shit that you are experiencing. That's why I say in your past lives, in your past essence, in your past existence, whatever you want to call that shit. So sometimes you don't understand the shit that you are experiencing. That's why I say we're not really ready for war like we think we is yet. Because first we gotta wake up and realize who we are, realize who what our power is. Talk about the tree. But color does have frequency. But you still can talk to the animals too. But more. Because we're not supposed to have, this is the lowest form of communication. Through your main or to the in-between star, wherever I was going. When I talked to the other entities, they did not talk. When they wanted to make me a fear, they put to you about yourself and like understanding of that. That's why like in the Bible it say the devil don't really looking off. Why would I'm looking off here? So it's the same thing like with these fake spirits. Why I keep looking off? We're straight to y'all. So like I be, why are you restarting it tomorrow? But yeah. But since whatever you want to call that shit. Since whatever
whatever you want to call that shit. So sometimes you don't understand the shit that you are experiencing. That's why. So sometimes you don't understand the shit that you are experiencing. That's why I say we not really ready for war like we think we is yet. Because first we gotta wake up and realize who we are, realize what our power is, and then get over the fear of dying. You feel me? Because that's why when you think back to the slaves, when they was trying to make them come over here to be slaves, why you think they jumped off them ships into that water? Because, and I got a song that says that. It says, just 400 years ago, we were jumping off of slave ships, some to the death because they could not take it. A life of slavery couldn't face it. But think of all the millions they killed before we came here. Basically. So sometimes you don't understand the shit that you are experiencing. That's why I say we not really ready for war like we think we is yet. Because first we gotta wake up and realize who we are, realize what our power is, and then get over the fear of dying. You feel me? Because that's why when you think back to the slaves, when they was trying to make them come over here to be slaves, why you think they jumped off them ships into that water? Because, and I got a song that says that. It says, just 400 years ago, we were jumping off of slave ships, some to the death because they could not take it. A life of slavery couldn't face it. But think of all the millions they killed before we came here. Basically saying, think of all the million people they killed before they start bringing the slaves in. But basically, that's the reason that so sometimes you don't understand the shit that you are experiencing. That's why I say we not really ready for war like we think we is yet. Because first we gotta wake up and realize who we are, realize what our power is, and then get over the fear of dying. You feel me? Because that's why when you think back to the slaves, when they was trying to make them come over here to be slaves, why you think they jumped off them ships into that water? Because, and I got a song that says that. It says, just 400 years ago, we were jumping off of slave ships, some to the death because they could not take it. A life of slavery couldn't face it. But think of all the millions they killed before we came here. Basically saying, think of all the million people they killed before they start bringing the slaves in. But basically, that's the reason that so sometimes you don't understand the shit that you are experiencing.
New timeline. Right citizenship. Let me explain to you how this is supposed to work. Since all these demons coming online, gaslighting people that's trying to do the right thing. Meaning, they feel as though they're traitors. Because they don't want to be evil anymore. And that's why they out here self-destructing and trying to take everybody down with them. So check it. The digital people of America is not citizens. And it's supposed to be completely free of work and taxes. But we do have a straw man, which is supposed to act as the citizen for us. We control everything as a beneficiary. The straw man itself is the trustee that's linked to your social security number. When you're indigenous to this land, your social security number is linked to your social security trust. And it marks your citizenship.
I think a restaurant can tell us.
It's too good, I promise you.
Find something you can hold on to. Find someone who'll be there for you. 'Cause that's all that really matters in the end. Find someone you can come home to. Find someone that'll come for you. 'Cause that's all that really matters in the end. Love, love, love.
this right here. Open TikTok. Take a picture. Take a photo. Take a selfie.
I want to launch a lawsuit against the U.S. government for the corruption. When the Declaration of Independence was written and edited, it was finalized to make sure the wording would allow African Americans to still be enslaved, even though it said all men are created equal.
This is a take on why authenticity will always win. When you step into your authentic self, when you live out of authenticity, you essentially embrace the law of polarity. You can have love and hate. Polarity. 6-7. Anyways, when you are your authentic self and you step into that law of polarity, this is what gets the people going.
What size did you need?
I don't think you understand how important and necessary it is to make shitty art.
You have that approach at your own risk energy, and on top of that, you look good. And somebody wants to try their luck. I'm getting that somebody...
Despite the fact that he said it all the way. So why is it that you cared about one, but you didn't care about the one that you ended up voting?
It was more a matter of authenticity. In my opinion, every candidate, including yourself, you're going to make promises that you can't keep. You're going to make...
Remember when I made this? Well, I made this one, okay? And this is for protection. And when I was outside taking pictures of it, it started pouring. I was taking pictures in the grass next to moss. And I found this. Protection. This necklace is the real deal. Okay, if you are looking for a necklace that shields you from negative energies, protects you from evil eyes, protects you from anything that's not supposed to be in your field, repels, this is the necklace for you. Because the confirmations that I was getting while making this necklace is crazy. And the way it started pouring, like, let me show you. Well, it's not pouring anymore, but you can see the raindrops, okay? As I was making this necklace, it started pouring, and then I found this feather, and it was just confirmation. And then I started playing frequencies of, like, protection because I wanted this necklace to...
Happy Sunday evening. There was a great article in The Atlantic on Friday by Tom Nichols. It was just titled, "The World No Longer Takes Trump Seriously." And we saw that last week, just reading from the article. The leaders of Russia, China, and North Korea are not good men. They preside over brutal autocracies, replete with secret police and prison camps. But nevertheless, they are serious men, and they know an unserious man when they see one. For nearly a decade, they have taken Donald Trump's measure, and they have clearly reached a conclusion. The President of the United States is not worthy of their respect. Last Wednesday, there was a military parade in Beijing, and standing up on the stage was President Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin from Russia, and Kim Jong-un from North Korea. And there were multiple images of them, like hanging out, being buddy-buddy and chummy, and Donald Trump was not invited. The parade was to celebrate the 80th anniversary of Japan's surrender in World War II. The President of the United States was not invited to that event. And sarcastically, Tom Nichols writes, after all, what role did the United States play in defeating Japan and liberating Eurasia? 2 atomic bombs that ended the war. Instead, Trump was left to watch from the sidelines. But the parade was worse than a mere snub. Those three stood in solidarity while reviewing China's military only a few weeks after Putin came to Alaska and refused Trump's pleas to end Russia's war against Ukraine. Putin has ignored him ever since. He's just absolutely ignored him. Russia launched another...
I got something for y'all. So do y'all know that supposedly Jeffrey Epstein is not even in jail? He's hiding out in the Middle East being protected by Israel. Yes. I read that shit today and I'm like mind blown behind it because I didn't even think about that, y'all. Like, what the fuck? I felt stupid because I hadn't even thought of that. Like, what the hell? And yeah, I mean, apparently it's a hoax that he's in jail. Nobody can verify that. They're being paid to say that he's in jail. I think they have someone in jail that looks like him.
I thought he
but
offed
he
himself.
supposedly is hiding out in the Middle East being protected by Israel. And you already know who's behind that, too. Your president. I said it. Your president. Don't get in my comments talking about that's what I voted for because you sound fucking foolish, bro. Like, I'm so confused by people that say that's what I voted for, but then y'all tell people that you're not evil. Crazy. It don't make sense. I got something for y'all. So do y'all know that supposedly Jeffrey Epstein is not even in jail? He's hiding out in the Middle East being protected by Israel? Yes.
Exact plan. This is part 3 of the series about my...
You have the type of vibe that leaves people guessing. You leave people intrigued, wanting to know more. You're a mysterious, sexy little thing. Your energy is chef's kiss right now. I feel like I'm tapping into something that's like very ethereal. Okay, like there is this essence that you embody that lingers in people's minds. Like you linger, like you you stay living in people's minds rent free. I feel like you meet people to really show them how to keep your heart open. Like, I feel like you're a catalyst for change in so many people's lives. You may be in the public eye, or you may just have this presence that people encounter, and they never, ever forget encounters with you. The Ace of Wands, you're a fresh breath. You're a fresh breath of air. You are a fresh perspective. Like, your vibe itself.
Y'all listen. Y'all got somebody
Your comments didn't come up.
that's getting readings done on you around the clock, right? And the reason why they getting these readings done on you, because every time they get a reading done, the reader is telling them one thing, and then you posting something, or you saying something, or you doing something that's not matching to what they seen in the reading. See, somebody has mastered the art of alchemy, okay? Which means you know how to transmute energy, okay? And whoever these people is getting these readings done on you. They're not supposed to be getting these readings done on you. And guess what they're getting instead? They're getting your lowest timeline. Everything that these people are telling them is about your lowest timeline.
Thank you, London. Merry Christmas.
I hadn't seen my kids in like a month. I'm gonna get home for Christmas.
We love you.
Are you boys sure you're okay with getting to the plane tomorrow without me? I can stay another night just to make sure you get home okay.
It's one night, Brad. We'll be fine. Hi. I'm sorry we never got to hear you sing, Kevin. I'm sure your voice is pretty okay. Thank you. Thank you, London. Merry Christmas.
I hadn't seen my kids in like a month. I'm gonna get home for Christmas.
We love you.
Are you boys sure you're okay with getting to the plane tomorrow without me? I can stay another night just to make sure you get home okay.
It's one night, Brad. We'll be fine. Hi. I'm sorry we never got to hear you sing, Kevin.
parking tickets. My car floated here. I did not park on this. To the individual who gave me parking tickets. My car floated here. I did not park on this. To the individual who gave me parking tickets. My car floated here. I did not park on this. To the individual who gave me parking tickets. My car floated here. I did not park on this. To the individual who gave me parking tickets. My car floated here. I did not park on.
Somebody is in love with you because they see you crave realness over everything. They can sense your need to connect with someone in a deep and authentic way. So they're trying to learn more about you so that they meet your expectations, but without being phony here. It's like this person wants to learn up on you so they don't mess it up with you. This person daydreams about you a lot here, but it's funny because, you know, the more they learn about you, the more they feel like they don't need to learn about you. You're undoing this masculine's need to play games here. They're like, whoa, I'm learning that the collective just wants somebody to be real with them, be upfront with them. And they're like, I can do that. This is like a relief to them because they're like, I don't have to put on a facade to impress the collective. Like, I don't have to be a whole nother guy and then switch into somebody else.
So here is your opportunity, guys. Take advantage of the deal tonight. I love the fact
You are inspiring so many people right now, and whether they want to admit that or not, keep doing you, because what you are doing, what you are.
A life of slavery couldn't face it, but think of all the millions they killed before we came here. Basically saying, think of all the million people they killed before they start bringing the slaves in. But basically, that's the reason that is behind a lot of the slaves jumping off the slave ship. They say, you can have my body, but you can't have my soul. You feel me? And so, like, that's when you really become free. And that's what they're really afraid. The slaves jumping off the slave ship, they say, you can have my body, but you can't have my soul. You feel me? And so, like, that's when you really become free. And that's what they really. It really could be. And it ain't just like a fairy tale no more for somebody to think that it's possible. That this shit really could be beautiful. Maybe not utopianism, but beautiful at least. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers ain't gotta be all dusted and disgusted. Can't be trusted. Peace. Y'all stay up, stay wise. See y'all later. Good night. Stay up, stay wise. Say you can have my body, but you can't have my soul. You the slaves jumping off the slave. The slaves jump. off the slave ship, they say you can have my body. The slaves jumping off the slave ship, they say you can have my body, but you can't have my soul. The slaves jumping off the slave ship, they say you can have my body, but you can't have my soul. You feel me? And so, like, that's when you really become free. And that's what they're really afraid of. You realizing that this is not the end. And I have to fight for my life right now. And it's what I do right now in this life, the imprint that I create, the footprint that I'm making in the sand in this life that I'm in right now, that will determine the way the imprint exists in the lifetime that you're preparing for in your next existence, whatever that is, looks like, whatever that is, because nobody know what you're gonna manifest as when you bring when your celestial body comes back into this physical realm. You feel me? And now a lot of this shit I'm saying, like, I just know so long, right? A lot of this shit I have understood. Your celestial body comes back into this physical realm. You feel and understood and have felt. Now, based off the shit that I'm studying, I'm in words that's supposed to be like complex. Everybody can understand it, and that's really all I'm doing. I'm just speaking a language of energy. You feel me? Whatever that is, because nobody know what you're gonna manifest as when you feel like someone took offense to me calling myself a scientist, like kinesiology, physical. Um, so that just gives me the capacity to understand stuff. Also, something to do with physics, who is supposed to be the father of classical physics. He basically had discovered something he kind of called so I'm kind of familiar with stuff like this. A lot of people aren't familiar with basic knowledge like this. Like the shit that Einstein was like, stuff like with Nikola Tesla, kind of didn't really discover electricity, harness electricity. That's good. You guys are so good. You guys are so quick. Yeah. So yeah, I think we on our way. We gotta just we on our way. It's good. You guys are so good. You guys are so quick. Yeah. So yeah, I think we on our way. We gotta just wake up a few more people, because even though it seemed like a lot of people, it's not a lot of people like we think it is, and a lot of people think that they ready, but then when it really comes time for some shit to jump off, a lot of people gonna fold. So you really need more people than it look like to be ready. But we getting there. We getting there. Yeah, I've been smiling all day. It's been a very positive day. This has been the most positive I've ever been on TikTok. Ever. This kind of feels like TikTok when I first got on TikTok almost 2.5-3 years ago. This is what TikTok is about. This is what made me want to get on TikTok. This type of shit that's happening on TikTok right now is what made me get on TikTok. And I'm so happy to see us. The slaves jumping off the slave ship, they say, you can have my body, but you can't have my soul. You feel me? And so, like, that's when you really become free. And that's what they're really afraid of. You realizing that this is not the end. And I have to fight for my life right now. And it's what I do right now in this life, the imprint that I create, the footprint that I'm making in the sand in this life that I'm in right now, that will determine the way the imprint exists in the lifetime that you're preparing for in your next existence, whatever that looks like, whatever that is, because nobody know what you're gonna manifest as when you bring when your celestial body comes back into this physical realm. Yeah. So yeah, I think we on our way. We gotta just wake up a few more people, because even though it seemed like a lot of people, it's not a lot of people like we think it is. And a lot of people think that they ready, but then when it really come time for some shit to jump off, a lot of people gonna fold. So you really need more people than it look like to be ready. But we getting there. We getting there. The slaves jumping off the slave ship, they say, you can have my body, but you can't have my soul. You feel me? And so, like, that's when you really become free. And that's what they're really afraid of. You realizing that this is not the end. And I have to fight for my life right now. And it's what I do right now in this life, the imprint that I create, the footprint that I'm making in the sand in this life that I'm in right now, that will determine the way the imprint exists in the lifetime that you're preparing for in your next existence, whatever that looks like, whatever that is, because nobody know what you're gonna manifest as when you bring when your celestial body comes back into this physical realm. Yeah. So yeah, I think we on our way. We gotta just wake up a few more people, because even though it seemed like a lot of people, it's not a lot of people like we think it is. And a lot of people think that they ready, but then when it really come time for some shit to jump off, a lot of people gonna fold. So you really need more people than it look like to be ready. But we getting there. We getting there. The slaves jumping off the slave ship, they say, you can have my body, but you can't have my soul. You feel me? And so, like, that's when you really become free. And that's what they're really afraid of. You realizing that this is not the end. And I have to fight for my life right now. And it's what I do right now in this life, the imprint that I create, the footprint that I'm making in the sand in this life that I'm in right now, that will determine the way the imprint exists in the lifetime that you're preparing for in your next existence, whatever that looks like, whatever that is, because nobody know what you're gonna manifest as when you bring when your celestial body comes back into this physical realm. Yeah. So yeah, I think we on our way. We gotta just wake up a few more people, because even though it seemed like a lot of people, it's not a lot of people like we think it is. And a lot of people think that they ready, but then when it really come time for some shit to jump off, a lot of people gonna fold. So you really need more people than it look like to be ready. the slaves jumping off the slave.
This is a message for my friends only. Putting out there what you are achieving is making so many people just turn and stop and look. And even though they aren't saying that out loud, you know that they can see it. You know that they are, actively checking in on you or silently watching what you're doing, because in reality, even if these types of people are trying to, see if you're going to get there, see if you're going to actually achieve what you keep saying that you are going to, and just ignore it, because you know exactly where you are headed, and you know that you are being your actual authentic self, and it is attracting so much for you. So don't be surprised if you have people that aren't going to exactly say what they feel, and you're like, wow, whether this be co-workers, a boss, family, even, they're not acknowledging your success right now. They're not acknowledging healthier habits, or they're not acknowledging the way that you've been handling situations differently. They see it, and you should know that you are not going unnoticed whatsoever. So I just came here to say, and just had this, feeling of you are doing amazing. You are shining. You are glowing. You are showing out in ways that these people are inspired by, whether they want to admit it or not. So just keep doing you, and, keep putting yourself out there and doing what you do best, just being yourself. You are inspiring so many people right now, and
Here's my super suit. What up, big dog? Looking great. I just wanted to say hello.
Oh, you don't want a photo with him?
I want to get a photo?
Yeah. Whether they want to.
Here's my super suit. What up, big dog? Looking great. I just wanted to say hello. I want to get a photo?
Yeah.
You need to be checking your girlfriend's repos. Everything you need to know is on there. From what she wants, to how she feels, to what she wants you to do about it. You name it, it's on there. It's like an open book test. The answers are being given to you.
How can you give her that good? How can you give her that good? How can you give? You're gonna want to hear this. I want to feel things. I've been waiting for this moment.
Stories you can only dream about.
I knew you'd figure it out eventually.
I just wanted to make a point that there is a difference between an agent and an informant. Agent, a formal sworn employee of the Bureau, goes through background checks, training, and operates within the agency, has badge access to systems, and works under Bureau command. Carries legal authority to investigate, arrest, or interrogate. Informant, civilian insider recruited by the agency to provide information, tips, or inside access. Usually has some connection to criminal activity or proximity to it. Often is facing charges or is vulnerable to prosecution. In exchange for cooperation, they may receive immunity, reduced charges, protection, cash payments, or look the other way arrangements. Being an informant means you were valuable to the system and had something that they wanted. So this isn't about being a badge-carrying enforcer. It's about being a protected node inside the network that the public isn't allowed to see clearly. Here's where it gets interesting. The speaker, a known regime supporter, said this on the record. Why? Was it a slip, a lie, or a tactic? If it is a slip, it is possible that the speaker got too comfortable, thought he was being clever, and let the words fall out. Sometimes slips happen when someone's subconscious, even when you're urban. I've been doing a lot of reading about the Heritage Foundation, and I am learning so much about these fuckers. So the Heritage Foundation was formed in 1973 by 3 white men. Wayrick Fulner, that fucker that just died, rest in piss, by the way, and Coors, who was the grandson of the great Coors Beer Company. And hey, as a side note, Coors definitely supports the Heritage Foundation, so fuck that company and don't drink that beer. Anyway, those assholes started that in 1973 to basically just promote white agenda and white male supremacy. Now, of course, they weren't going to come out and say that. They'd use fancy words like, promoting business and promoting the economy and the betterment of the United States of America, and using conservative thinking to shrink government and increase corporate power, which of course is just a fancy way of saying they wanted to push the agendas of white wealthy men and make everybody else insignificant. But one of the things that they didn't foresee is that they were going to be really fucking good at it, and it was going to end up fucking destroying them. Okay, so they found themselves as a small think tank and then get funding from like private donors. And then a couple years later, some other assholes said, hey, why don't we take these concepts and why don't we put them into a fucking book? That way we can distribute this information and get other people on board with our vision. So then we have 3 new assholes that enter the chat. Eckerd, he was the head of Eckerd Drugs, which is like a CVS back then. I'm sure you guys have all seen that, or you remember seeing Eckerd Drugs. He was the guy. So he was a businessman, a white businessman who was very successful in buying up stores and, building out his Eckerd Drug brand. The other guy was Krebel, and he was the head of the Loctite Corporation. And you see this like if you go to Home Depot or Ace Hardware, you see Loctite everywhere. They sell like glue and adhesives and stuff. And then the third guy was this guy, Heatherly, who was an advocate for small businesses. Interestingly enough, he ran the Small Business Association under Reagan, the SBA that they're trying to completely cut and gut and get rid of. Because why support small businesses when you can support big corporations? But I digress, because in the late 70s, early 80s, they were all about promoting businesses owned by white men. So then the first person to get their hands on the first copy or first edition of the Mandate for Leadership was Ronald Reagan. Even though they presented it to Carter, Carter was like not impressed with it whatsoever. I don't even think that he looked at it. And Reagan said, hey, this makes sense to me. If you give more money to corporations and bigger tax cuts to corporations, then corporations can grow, and that will increase the job market, and that money will eventually make itself down to the people or the workers. And of course, Reagan, because he was a white man in the early 80s, I'm sure that he was fucking racist too. I mean, I don't even think that that's up for debate, to be honest with you. But I don't think that he promoted the trickle-down economy because he thought that that was going to crash the fucking American economic system. I think he really, truly thought that that was going to work. And of course it didn't, because then there was like Black Monday and all that other shit, but I don't have time to talk about it in this video. But there were other things in this Mandate for Leadership that were also being promoted in the very first edition. And one of those other things was increased defense spending. So the United States up until this point had defense spending, but they didn't have, it wasn't as exorbitant as it is today. And one of the major backings of the Heritage Foundation has always been to increase defense spending, which I didn't know until I started digging into it. And by increasing defense spending, you are going to create more business opportunities for companies to contract out to the Department of Defense. Basically, it's just this unlimited, amount of money that's given to the Department of Defense that other American companies can now become, involved with. In other words, the Department of Defense became a huge customer for big companies. Companies, for example, like Loctite, that have military contracts. So basically, bumping up the military spending was just to promote businesses and essentially their own businesses. Okay, so now we have exorbitant military spending that, money doesn't really have to be reported. It can be lost or used for money laundering because no one really knows where any of this money goes. And that's just kind of like what we're accepting now. But then one of the other things that was really adamant on was keeping women home. And of course, it was really important for them to keep women home because white men are terrified of women. Like, we can outsmart them and outrun them and outpace them, and that scares them. So in order to maintain control of white male power, they of course have to suppress other people of color, and they also have to suppress women. And women of color like myself, or black women, or brown women, or any other women of color are the biggest threat to them. So they had to, of course, keep brown women pregnant, which they did really fucking well. And of course, a lot of this was a direct impact of Roe v. Wade being passed. That really pissed them off. So they said, listen, if we can't keep women from getting abortions, we're just going to make sure that they just keep on getting pregnant. And the best way to do that is to keep them uneducated and keep keep them at home. Now, this was, of course, a time when female empowerment was becoming very popular in the United States. Women started wearing suits. Women started making it up the ladder in corporations. They really hated that. And they've been working ever since then to overturn Roe v. Wade, which, of course, just happened. Because having women in the workforce makes them more independent, which makes them less dependent on men. And when women are less dependent on men, then men are unable to have full control, which is why now the current Heritage Foundation has gone after the Small Business Association, because the Small Business Association was responsible for...
Here are 5 signs you might have an H. pylori infection and how you can get rid
of the slaves. Physical realm. You feel me? And now a lot of this shit I'm saying, like, I just know so long, right? A lot of this shit I haven't shit in words that other people can understand. That's what it was always about for me, was being able to take this shit that's it in word, ability to express, actual ability to now, based off the shit that I'm studying, I'm having the actual studying. I'm having the actual ability to express this shit in words that other people can understand. That's what it was always about for me, was being able to take this shit that's supposed to be like complex and make it so simple. You feel me? That any and everybody can understand it. And that's really all I'm doing. I'm just a messenger too. I'm just a messenger too. Like everybody else. It's just like I know how to speak in a language of energy. You feel me? Like I think y'all don't understand. I'm a radiologic scientist. That is somebody who is a scientist that works with radiation. And if you know, radiation is a form of it's called ionizing energy. And then you have non-ion, who is a scientist that works with radiation. And if you know, radiation is a form of it's called ionizing energy. And then you have non-ionizing energy as well. But I am a non-ionizing energy scientist. I just use that energy in the capacity of medicine. But I am a non-ionizing energy scientist. So for just to be a regular little person, for me to have that kind of understanding is what allows me to have the language and the capacity to having the actual ability to express this shit. I'm having the actual ability to express this shit in words that other people can understand. That's what it was always about for me, was being able to take this shit that's supposed to be like complex and make it so simple. You feel me? That any and everybody can understand it. And that's really all I'm doing. I'm just a messenger too. I'm just a messenger too. Like everybody else. It's just like I know how to speak in a language of energy. You feel me? Like, I think y'all don't understand. I'm a radiologic scientist. That is somebody who is a scientist that works with radiation. And if you know, radiation is a form of it's called ionizing energy. And then you have non-ionizing energy as well. But I am a non-ionizing energy scientist. I just use that energy and the capacity
I'm going to make this post for friends only.
Number 2. Today was just a really crazy day. I woke up early, felt super angry. I got a UTI throughout the day. I get those when I'm angry or I'm stressed. And so I was making a lot of crazy videos in my Steve Jobs costume. And it just was making it worse. And then I started crying because, you know, that anger is a secondary emotion. And there was a lot of crying and a lot of sadness because it all comes back to vision, right? What's our vision for the future? It's really bad. And no one's really talking about it with me except on here. And you know that I feel like I'm on the Truman Show. It's going to be really bad, guys. There's going to be a big collapse, and we're going to run out of fossil fuels, and you know, in Jurassic Park, when Dr. Malcolm is like, I hate being right. I love to talk about chaos theory and just how we're living in such a fundamentalist culture. It's just like, I go downstairs and my mom's vacuuming all day and she's cleaning and she's not neurotic, you know? My dad's not neurotic on his laptop. Money, gotta get more money. All just accumulating more resources because the earth is full of resources. Animals aren't people, just like us. Humans are the only people. Homo sapiens is only people. There's no magic in the plants and in the energy. You have to take mushrooms to see it because it's not part of our culture. We can't see it, so mushrooms are illegal. And why do I have to think about it all day? Why do I have to think about it all day? I took a Klonopin because I needed a break. I never take Klonopin because I want to be tough and I don't want the machine to sedate me to go back to sleep.
If you ever want to understand the kind of privilege and wealth that some people have, go to just about any mid to high tier college during move out day. I know people who live in a college town. It's a private college, but every single year, the week that all of the students are moving out, they're walking around. They're looking at the bags being thrown out. They go in the dumpsters. And do you know what they have found? They have found a brand new Switch twice. They found a new laptop. They have found hundreds of dollars just in notebooks, brand new lamps, a vacuum, hundreds of dollars worth of vacuums, brand new clothing, all thrown out just because, whether it's because they live in another country and they're just here for the school, or they live in the Midwest and they can't take it back with them. Like the privilege, the lack of recognition that could be sold or put anywhere. Like, I can't, it boggles my mind. So if you're ever looking for some stuff, just go to a college town. If you ever want to understand the kind of privilege and wealth that some people have, go to...
Wild cats have golden eyes too. So why do only domesticated dogs and cats suddenly have blue and green eyes? Wild sheep had hair, not wool. So where did wool suddenly come from 10,000 years ago? The wild ancestors of chickens lay about 12 eggs a year. So who reprogrammed chickens to lay 300 eggs a year until they die? Wild cows, aurochs, were 6 feet tall, fierce, and untamable. So how did they suddenly shrink into docile milk machines that never stopped producing? Wild fruits were tiny, bitter, and full of seeds. So how did we suddenly get oversized, sweet, seedless fruits that can't survive without us? Humans had dark skin for 200,000 years plus. So why did pale skin only appear in the last 6,000 to 10,000 years at the same time as paler sheep, paler pigs, and paler horses? Why do all domesticated animals, from pigs to dogs to horses, show the same traits? Lighter colors, floppy features, new coats, new eye colors. And why do humans, in the same time period, show the exact same package? Wild grains like acorn survived perfectly for millions of years. So why do domesticated wheat and maize suddenly need constant human farming to even exist? Why did new humans, new animals, new crops, new cities, new religions, and new money all appear together after the last ice age? Was that really evolution or a reset package? And even by the last ice age, they say 10,000 years ago was warmer. They say that's when the planet was warming up again, So why would happen now when all the animals and stuff were living fine? But then apparently when Eurasia is warming up, that's when everything's happening new. You got new plants, new animals, new crops. I can't believe I've stumbled on this. I've been so focused on humans because today I got a download, and I was like, hold on a minute. Dogs and that, cats, animals. And I was thinking, well, because somebody commented some stupidness on my thing, and I thought to myself, so how would you think engineering splicing happened all those years ago, or whatever? But I'm thinking to myself, well, we've managed to create new animals from the wild animals that existed. So I'm guessing something. Do you know what I mean? You don't say we're like animals. You don't literally call us mammals or whatever, some shit like that. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm thinking if whatever you can do to them, you can do to us now. I heard you man were putting pigs' hearts and that into people's bodies. So as far as I'm concerned, and then I stumble on the deepest. And then I stumbled on animals. And then I go into animals and then I clock it's in plants as well. And then anytime you see it, you realize that the color is crazy. All the colors change. The colors change. Every time. Wild pigs. Dark. Pigs now. White. Pink. Dogs. What color are they? They're dark. The huskies, the wolves and whatnot that they say they're made from. But if you look at wild African dogs, you will know that that's truly what they used as well to splice, yeah? Because it has all the fur coats, colors on it. All the fur coats on it. I definitely know they use husky as well. Not husky, the original wolves as well, 100%. But trust me, the African wild dog is in there, 120%. Anyways, I'm going to do a video about it, guys. I can't wait. Just wait for my next YouTube video, because I'm going to go deep into this, yeah? I'm going to go deep. I think I should never shelter my eyes.
Should have never showed them my eye color. I think everybody thought I had dark eyes.
Wolves all have golden eyes. Wildcats have golden
Eh.
CIA. Y'all are fixed. I'm a very
keep putting in there. Eyes too. Is the next one. If you're not trying to retrain, so bunkers, right? Billionaires going in bunkers. They're building them in Kansas, in South Dakota, in Texas, even down in New Zealand, marketed as politically stable, and in Switzerland, in the mountains. There's a long tradition of building defense caves for elite clients. That's where all the bunkers are. They've tried to privatize their survival. It is a historical echo of a feudal castle. It reflects the collapse of social trust. The elites know that their time is ticking and the system is failing. They could act and save the world and be a hero. Instead, they're building bunkers. Some of these bunkers even have multi-level flats, shooting ranges, and hydroponics, and a cinema. The biggest one is in the Czech Republic, marketing themselves oppidum as the largest billionaire bunker in the world. It even has an art gallery. But what they are not considering, it seems, is that power for a billionaire is actually not your money. It's the network around them, the staff, the data, the public institutions, the governments, the army. Going into a bunker cuts you off from all of that. It's a retreat, not a throne. Once sealed into their bunker, the billionaire ceases to be a player in global politics or finance. They are reduced to the same conditions as a miner or a submarine crew, except they have a cinema. Actually, submarines have the nice perks. They are reliant in their bunker on the stockpiles they brought in, and they will be unable to influence the world outside. Even the most advanced bunkers can only support life for a couple of years. Decades max. Your food will run out, your medicine will run out, and they still rely on external supply chains. All of these bunkers have been designed with one key fallibility. They are dependent on being starved. All of these designs assume that hired staff will still serve these billionaires in their bunkers. But many staff will just walk away, rebel, or worse, give us the keys. Who's going into the bunker with you? You've no power anymore. Why would I do that? Outside is socialism. Who's going to work for you in that bunker? Their leverage vanishes. They have no more access to the police or the courts or the army. A bunker lord is just another mouth to feed. And the world moves on. You've buried yourself alive. You can stay down there. If you try to emerge, you get shot in the face. A new government will immediately rise and ecosystems will shift. A billionaire now risks re-emerging. Their fortune is gone. The money, the currency it was in, doesn't exist. Their companies have been nationalized and new rulers are in charge. And bounty hunters are looking for the bunkers. The bunker is being marketed to the billionaires But it's nothing more than their own tombs, disguised as palaces. They're entombing themselves like an old Egyptian pharaoh, surrounded by their favorite trinkets. But as soon as you go in, you abandon your power. In critical theory, this would be classed as the ultimate privatization of risk. Instead of building collective resilience for what's ahead, they're building solitary man caves. But those caves are not the center of command. It's less of an actual solution to protect them and more of a psychological coping mechanism that's being exploited by the people who build bunkers. It's a hedge against their real fear, but it's a move that will sever them from the very structures that made them powerful. In 1780s France, many nobles withdrew into their rural castles, convinced the big walled estates would protect their titles. But when the revolution came, their distance made them irrelevant. Their political influence collapsed, and many returned only to face either confiscation or the guillotine. The strategy of retreating has always left power vacuums that just create new blocks. You're so easily replaced no matter how many billions and billions of dollars you have. If you try to retreat into a bunker, you are immediately cut off from all structures of power. Same in Russia when the Bolsheviks came. The aristocrats fled to their country manors, and they were starved out and executed. And they were totally rendered irrelevant to Russian society. Some of them went to Paris and Berlin and started.
I've been thinking about all of these farmers in Arkansas who are finding out that their votes matter.
I never miss leg day, and I never miss.
The distraction is anything that isn't directly confronting and talking about the ongoing authoritarian takeover of the country. Trump's personal bullshit, that's the distraction. Donald Trump, that's the distraction. What's happening now is a well-coordinated plan that includes federalizing local police forces, which we see him doing in Washington, D.C.,
What's her name? What's her name?